Janet Yellen is highly political.
We need transparency.
They should have been raising rates appropriately before. Now they've got no tools left in the toolbox.
The independent Federal Reserve has come under partisan fire on the campaign trail. And while the U.S. Central Bank is technically independent, it is subject to congressional oversight and presidential nominations. The next president will be tasked with appointing experts to make decisions about inflation and interest rates. Here's where some of the top candidates stand on monetary policy. Senators Ted Cruz and Rand Paul are among the Federal Reserve's toughest critics. Both say they want to audit the Fed, and the two senators advocated for the Federal Reserve Transparency Act earlier this year.
I think the Federal Reserve has made this problem worse. So really, we need to re-examine whether we want a Federal Reserve that's involved so much in determining interest rates.
The two senators have also supported the gold standard, linking the dollar to the value of gold, which would limit the Federal Reserve's ability to manage crises.
What the Fed should be doing is, number one, keeping our money tied to a stable level of gold, and number two, serving as a lender of last resort.
Donald Trump, Chris Christie, and Carly Fiorina have blasted the central bank for what they consider to be political slant.
And she's not raising rates for a very specific reason, because Obama told her not to.
Christie said if he's elected president, he would avoid sending political signals.
And you want them to make decisions not based upon politics, but upon the sound monetary policy.
Fiorina has proposed the idea of stripping the Fed's dual mandate of maximizing employment and stabilizing prices.
Because of their dual mandate, full employment, that is a recipe for politicization. So somehow the employment rate is just never quite good enough.
On the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders has made a name for himself criticizing Wall Street and grilling the Federal Reserve. But recently, he's applauded Janet Yellen for keeping rates low throughout the year, saying we need to do everything possible to create millions of good-paying jobs and raise the wages of the American people. Sanders has previously said he would ban financial executives from serving on the Fed's Board of Governors. Hillary Clinton hasn't said much about the role of the Federal Reserve, but this has been a common refrain on the Clinton campaign trail.
The economy does better when you have a Democrat in the White House, and that's why we need to have a Democrat in the White House.
One big question, though, is the economy strong enough for a rate hike now? If the Fed moves too quickly, it could inadvertently trigger a slowdown instead, and potentially hurt Clinton's ability to campaign on President Obama's economic record.